The NASCAR Cup Series produces some spectacular crashes in the course of a season, and in last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona, Stewart Haas Racing's Ryan Preece experienced one of the biggest.
Oh, and around goes a couple cars. Preece upside down. He's barrel rolling through the grass.
So at Daytona last year in August, I would say that was probably the most horrendous wreck that I've had visually in a race car, flipping 13 or however many times. I wish I could tell you it's an experience, but I closed my eyes and just, I waited for it to be over.
Ryan Preece, upside down in the infield.
When it all came to an end, I kind of sat there and collected my thoughts and realized that I was okay. I shook my feet and my arms, and obviously I was still able to move all those parts. So I was really lucky to be able to walk away from it.
It was a harrowing crash to watch, and in the cockpit, Preece endured multiple impacts and massive centrifugal loads as the car barrel rolled over the infield grass.
We had 4 pretty good collisions with the halo right above his head, and it did give way somewhat, but it stayed intact. As far as injuries, he didn't have any injuries per se, but he did have some blood vessels ruptures in his eyes, and that was all due to the centrifugal force of him spinning for the longer duration. A lot of times we see that crash data and you see high G loads, but it's for milliseconds, where he spun for seconds.
I just remember sliding in the grass and it being really loud, hearing tires squealing, and then it got super quiet, like to the point of where you knew that something was about to happen, and from there, you were along for the ride. It was a long few seconds. In the next gen's case, there's an added brace right by your seat to protect the roll cage from collapsing in case of a rollover. That did its job.
Your biggest fear of any kind is having somebody hurt in one of the race cars that you've taken apart and preparing, and then obviously we spend more time together than I spend with my wife. So you have a friendship there, and it's one of the bigger crashes that we've had in NASCAR in quite some time, and to see him be able to walk away from it says a lot for where we're at as an industry.
Preece was battered and bruised, but otherwise unharmed. And incredibly, he got back in the 41 Ford Mustang for the opening round of the playoffs the following weekend.
Obviously, it looked very dramatic, and it wasn't an easy crash, but as far as the toll it takes on the driver's body is a better crash to have than a sudden stop. But no, I think the car safety, but his stubbornness probably helped him just as much as the car safety did.
Ryan Preece climbed out of the car. They'll go to the infield care center. He'll get checked out.
I mean, he texted me from the infield care center and said, "Be ready for Darlington, because I'm going." Like, there was no question. There was a lot of questions in everybody else's mind on whether he would race or not, and I never had a plan for anybody else to be in the car at Darlington other than him.
As a race car driver, and you realize that there's a risk that you can wreck. We've all been there. I've had throttles hang on me. I've launched cars out of the racetrack, and you just look at it as, all right, let's get back in. So to me, it really didn't bother me. I had no problem getting in the race car the next week or even Daytona. It doesn't bother me, but I do know it shook my wife up and my father up more than anyone, just seeing that.